Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Black Waves, a show that hasn't been on for 3 weeks, unfortunately. All right, so I'm going to be your GM storyteller, whichever you would like to call me, Forgotten Dreams, and I'm joined by a lovely cast of people starting over to next to me, because I don't know if this is left or right for you people on the YouTubes and the Twitches and the Trovos. We have the Cyber Mama.
Hey, I'm Cyber Mama. I will be playing Sasha Oak River, which is a failing swashbuckling rogue.
Oh! Next up, we have Ellen.
I'm Ellen. I play Senna Thunderhall. She is a half-elf, mostly bard, little cleric.
And last but not least, we have the Wade.
I am the Wade, not a Wade. And I play Desh, a little kobold ranger with his best buddy and hunting companion, Nash.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and today, with our lovely recap, which should be filled with all sorts of goody information of what happened 3 weeks ago, Ellen is the captain now.
I will do my best. From what I remember, from what I wrote down last time, we went to the Druid Grove to ask for some help because our city was destroyed by a tsunami and some other things that happened. I played an amazing song, The Hen and Her 5 Chicks. It was amazing and everybody wept. We went back to the town with the druids. They came to help us. We went to investigate one of the ships that had crashed in our town. Beached? I don't know. Landed in our town.
I guess you could say beached like a whale,
cabin,
yeah.
Yeah. In the captain's cabin, we found some pistols and a powder horn, and the pistols were super creepy with screaming women on them, and found a compass and a coin purse filled with ears, some letters with stuff with demon iconography on it. We found some chests filled with eggs, behir eggs, to be more specific, some armor. We found some spell scrolls with magical runes on them, a scroll of teleportation, a scroll of Finger of Death, a scroll of Wall of Fire, a scroll of Unholy Smite. We learned some geography. We got a geography lesson, and then we were transported or teleported to a scary place where we killed some bad doggies. They were really bad. They were like bad doggies, not just bad dogs, and a fat demon baby. And that's all I remember.
Demon baby.
Yeah. Didn't we kill a fat demon baby?
I mean, you killed a fat demon, but if you'd like to describe it as a baby, sure.
That's what I wrote down, so that's how I described it.
Absolutely.
Seemed like a baby to me.
Papa Nurgle would be proud. All right, fantastic. Who can remember why exactly did you guys come to this ship in the first place?
Because we were asked, if I recall correctly, to investigate demon runes, because they might come into play for boarding a demon ship.
Sasha's boyfriend.
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. Does anyone remember Sasha's quote-unquote boyfriend's name?
Andrew.
Father Andy.
There you go.
Aaron, you turned into smoke.
Yeah, I did. It's a magic trick we DMs have. All right, fantastic. Let me see something here. So, we bring it all back in. Just as there is a loud pop within the captain's cabin, and the three of you reappear within it, the scroll that I do believe Sasha had opened, now burnt away into a pile of ash on the floor and sort of drifting towards the left like everything else in this room, kind of scattering itself against the bed. And you all hear from the doorway,
Alright, can we please not open more scrolls from demon ships? I don't think it goes well.
Probably that's good advice. It's good.
Yeah,
watch?
we'll just take the stuff from here on out and just not even examine it because I don't want to go back there ever again.
You can see that Nash has managed to wedge himself halfway into the door.
Hey there,
Concerned.
buddy.
Come. Let's squish you back out. We need to leave place.
You watch as he tries to move himself back out, and you hear the cracking of wood as he slips and slides against the deck and claws into it a good 4 inches. Unmoving.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Okay, how do we unstick?
Any shrinky spell?
I'm gonna look through my stuff to see if I have like a little hatchet or something.
Please do not axe.
Oh, I
like
have
that.
I have an axe. We can hack away at the wood to
Good. That's what I was looking
Cut it
for.
away,
An axe
yeah.
to
I-
cut away.
I
Good
have a
lord.
tiny axe.
You have a
Great.
tiny axe? Okay.
It's that's what it says in my inventory. I think we
Alright.
got it when we first left to chop wood along our journey.
Okay,
Tiny axe.
fantastic.
It's like this tiny, not
So,
like that.
so we watch as she pulls out a hatchet, and definitely not a pixie's axe, as she makes her way over to the trapped Nash and a bunch of splintered wood and the claw marks he has left behind so far. Go ahead and make me... I'm going to call for a raw strength check.
Oh God. Okay.
Can we heave ho and give advantage?
So you're just gonna add advantage by pushing on Nash.
Yeah, add pressure with Nash, have Nash dig his claws in and try to back up.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I'll push
So
also
in that
Nash.
case, I would like both of you, before Senna makes this roll, to go ahead and also give me base strength rolls, Nash included. And if you get above a 10, the first person to get above a 10 will give advantage to Senna. And then every person who gets a 10 or above afterwards will add a +1. So from Sasha, that's a no.
I mean, clearly,
From Desh, it's a no.
clearly, since I'm going to do this delicate thing and I don't want to hurt Nash, I will cast guidance on myself to give
Absolutely. And
myself
as you cast
a boost
guidance, Nash actually starts helping you out by clawing away at what he can reach of the wood around him.
Oh.
19. Okay.
That's good. I'm -1 to strength too. That was
That
a good
is.
roll.
Why does it say strength -1 +1?
I have no idea.
What's going on
Roll
there?
20 did that. Don't know.
Okay.
What kind of items do you have on? Do you have something that gives you a buff?
Think so.
That must be it.
I mean, you're a cleric and not a paladin, right?
And I only
Well,
have one.
She's a
level of cleric.
bard and a cleric.
I'm mostly a bard.
Yes.
Maybe it's like it's applying your jack of all trades for some reason.
Maybe it is. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out as time goes on.
Wait,
Ooh.
you could ignore that and make it a. Well, it says +1. It would be -1. I don't know why the +1 is there.
So it's
it
actually
would
an
be
18. But that's
plus
fine.
2.
It takes you a while. This is not a fast
Okay.
process with a hatchet, even with Nash's help. Nash is essentially reduced to that of a scrambling Tyrannosaurus Rex due to his
Nash.
arm movements because he's jammed himself in the door so badly. And over the next 2 hours, you have to chip away at the wood strategically to make sure you don't hurt Nash. And
I don't want to hurt Nash.
yeah. Eventually, though, you do manage to get him free. He's got a bit of bruising, but other than that, he's going to be okay.
Okay.
Oh, this was an adventure.
As he's finally free, and you have a breath of fresh air, as once again you are graced by the wind in the sky once more. You can see that the snow has picked up quite considerably, and the entire top deck on this ship is covered in about a good 5 inches of snow at this point.
Have we gotten everything in this room?
Snow? I'm sorry?
Snow.
We just got hit by like a seasonal type
Why
of...
not?
What is the weather?
Well, if we all recall, the sky's dark.
Yeah, but it was
During the
warm
middle
and
of the
rainy.
day. Yes, during the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Some fun weather effects have been going on. And there might be a reason behind that. What that might be, you have no idea.
Again,
But at least
have
the
we gotten
fog's gone.
everything?
Other than... Okay, question. Did you guys try and shove the chest into the bag of holding?
I would have tried.
Okay. So, here's what I'm going to need from you. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a dangerous proposition with how large these chests are, due to the size of Bahir eggs.
Can we just take the eggs and put them in rather than the chest?
You could. But she has suggested the chest is what she would like to try.
Who suggested the chest?
Subconscious suggestion.
That wasn't conscious. That was just clearly leading a horse to water.
So, what I'll ask is, would you first like to safely attempt to put the chest in the bag? And if it doesn't work out initially, do you want to stop and just move the eggs?
Yes.
Okay. You attempt to safely put the chest in there, and the lip of the bag is not large enough. You'd have to either shave off a couple of inches of wood, or force the bag wider open, which might cause a tear.
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't want to cause a tear. So I'll put each egg in.
Okay. You take a while. You go ahead and put each egg in. All right, fantastic. So I need to go ahead and mark that down for those eggs. Okay.
All right, well, either we're going to have some Bahir omelets soon, or we're going to have just egg troubles.
Well, I plan on taking them out as soon as we get to Cypher Diaz.
The only thing left in the room at this point is the bed itself and the captain's desk.
I'm going to rifle through the desk to see what's in there.
It's already been rifled through.
Okay. All right, so now we need to go down to the next level.
So, with that being the idea, I mean, we haven't examined that far down before. So I'm thinking,
No.
like this one, we haven't been able to see
You
into the lower
have.
desks.
You can see, because if you remember, when you first got on top of the ship, you were able to peer into the gaping hole of the ship, and it showed you the second deck. However, it was too small of an opening when it came to looking into the third deck. However, you did hear a thwumping hum coming from the third deck.
Where
Sure.
we're assuming the actual portal is. So I'm going to start heading down to the next deck.
Okay. Do you want to take the normal way down?
Yes.
All right, you go ahead and you make your way over to the broken central mast of this ship that's sort of leaned to one side heavily. And go ahead and... Actually, you don't have to make that roll because I believe you guys are using a rope to balance yourselves. Yeah. So you make your way over to the door that would lead you down to the second deck, and you go ahead and you open it up, and you can see it goes down about halfway to the second deck, and then the stairs themselves are just sheared in half. So there's about a 5-foot drop down to the second deck itself.
Okay, I'll use the ripple climbing for the last last bit.
All right. Let's see here. You go ahead and you use the rope of climbing. You make your way down to the second deck, and you immediately notice there's this pungent sulfuric odor that sort of begins to permeate the room as your feet hit the soaked wood, the soaked and rotting wood at this point. And you can feel, and when you look down, you can even see that your feet sink into the wooden deck a good 3 inches, as the top layer of it is just like a wooden pulpy mush.
What do I see?
Lots of blood. Also broken cannons that lie strewn about on the second deck. No bodies. And a few barrels.
Okay. Is there a way to get down to the next deck?
You would assume there would have to be, but you can't see it from the entrance here.
Is it just because it's dark? Because I've got
Correct.
true night
Yeah,
sight.
but it doesn't extend far enough out to cover this entire deck.
Okay.
I'm going to light a torch and give it to my mage hand, and
Okay.
have it go out 30 feet, and just like have it stay 30 feet out from us as we move.
So the two of you go ahead and also make your way to the second deck as well.
Oh yeah, I would.
Okay,
I was
fantastic.
following Sasha. Yeah,
Do
sorry,
you
I
want to
should've said
send
that.
the torch towards the front or the aft of the ship? The bow
are we
or the
like in the
aft?
center?
You're in the center. Yeah, you're right next to the center mass, and you can even see that the column for the central mass is still intact here on the second deck, where it's sheared off on the first deck.
Can we see to the other side of the ship, like side to side?
Yeah, you can see to either your left or right
Starboard?
side. Yeah, you can see starboard and port. It's just you can't get a full glimpse of what's fully out to the, I believe it's called bow for the front, and then you can't see the aft, even with
Send
your
it to,
dark vision.
toward the front first.
Okay, so you start sending it towards the bow of the ship, and it gets out to its maximum range, and you can begin to see like small chunks of body parts.
Oh, lovely. Here's where the weird corpse monster comes into play.
Ew.
And down here, is it like
Have it.
space ship, or is it definitely like typical cramped ship design?
It's a little more spacious than your typical ship design, but it still has but it's still relatively cramped.
Okay, I mainly asked that because is Nash gonna have problems maneuvering
He is.
down here?
Yes.
I can feel a fight coming, but I feel having Nash squished down here is gonna be more of a detriment than anything else. I think maybe I have to leave my buddy topside.
To get
When you-
stuck again. Plus, he's really heavy, right? Wouldn't he sink into the ground more than the rest of
Yeah,
us?
he's a
If
good
it's
6 inches
pulpy?
deep into the pulpy wood. Yeah. And it creaks every time he steps.
So I think I'll have
Probably
to
not
leave,
safe for Nash.
Nash, keep the top level secured and all that.
Okay. You watch as he mopes up back to the top floor. He doesn't need a rope. He can just easily, heft himself up
I'm
and
sorry,
down.
buddy. If I could bring you down here, I would, but God has decreed that it's in a no Nash zone. We have to go.
Okay, so what are we going to do? Are we going to move towards the bodies, or are we going to move the other way?
Well, let me send the torch the other way as far as it'll go, just to see what's over there before we
Okay.
choose a direction. At least we can see as far as we can.
So you head back towards the bow of the aft of the ship, and you go ahead and send the torch out. And it doesn't take long before it comes up to a separating wall with two doors, one that leads to the right and one that leads to the left. And the one that leads to the right, there's a small wooden alcove that has like a service window, one could say, and you can clearly see if you move the torch over there. There's quite a few pots and pans that are disheveled and thrown about in that room, as well as what smells like an awful smelling stew of some sort that's like spoiled at this point.
Mess hall.
Okay, well, want to go to the kitchen or toward the body chunk?
Oh boy. Let's go towards the kitchen because there's a second door.
Okay.
You guys make your way over there, and you get up to the two doors, with the kitchen being on your right, and the further back into the aft of the ship behind this door in front of you.
Okay. I open the next door, the other door, not the one to the mess.
Okay. You go ahead and open that door, and you are greeted by the sight of what once were the remains of demons that have... It looks weird. They've got humanoid-shaped skeletons, but it looks like it's all been peeled back into almost a jutting wrought iron fence design. And you can see at the end of their rib cage are tendrils of flesh that kind of just keep going up into the ceiling and then meshing with the ceiling.
Hannibal Lecter was here.
Ew. Okay.
And each body, and there's about 10 of them here, is hanging by their flesh maybe a good 4 to 8 inches off the ground.
Do we have any context for this? Would we have heard of, can I check my history, anything to see if, or religion, we've heard of
You
anything?
can certainly try
like
any of
this?
those.
I'm equally bad at both of those things, so I will... Nope. This is scary. Those are dead things.
Yeah, this is quite weird. Okay, so no staircase down this way. Unfortunately, that
Well,
means we need
you're
to-
not sure, because right now you're just greeted with the 10 bodies that are kind of lined up near this wall and are
So-
meshing into the ceiling. Looking past them, you can see that it continues on, as you still have a bit of the back of the ship to go to.
Okay, so can you send the light further back?
Go ahead and push the light past these bodies, and you're greeted with 4 more broken cannons, and instead of being pinned to the ceiling, you see each of the cannons has 3 crew members at them, where their flesh has been pinned to the cannons.
Ew.
Oh,
This is a
so,
lovely taste in decorating.
like
So-
how...
Just like the bodies that were there at the doorway, where they're lifted off the ground slightly and their flesh is extending from the very tips of their rib cage into the ceiling, they're sort of being pushed away from the cannons by their flesh, and their bones are hanging in the air above them, also jutted out and ripped out like an iron wrought fence that's been bent.
And no stairs downward?
The torch can go an additional 30 feet.
Yeah.
Go 30 feet away from me, but I can walk along with it.
If you continue to walk along with it,
Well-
eventually you will see the trapdoor that leads to the 3rd deck.
Okay, thank goodness. Let's go. Oh, this is gross.
And as you make your way to that trapdoor, without having to roll, all of you notice that there's like a central scorch mark that is imprinted into the mushy pulp of a floor. That's sort of just a black ring with an empty void in the middle of the ring. And it almost looks like someone scorched a drawing of the sun into the deck.
Do I have any idea what this could be?
would you like to make me a history, religion, or arcana check?
Okay. History, religion, or arcana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will try for history.
Those I'm terrible with, so.
13, no.
We could,
Okay.
well, I mean, it might behoove us to know what we're getting ourselves into. Maybe we could ask Siphidius to give the stone to Father Andy, and he might have some insight into this if there's something we should be particularly wary of before we go down there further. We could
You want to
describe
pull
this
out
to him.
the stone and call him?
I would like to, unless anybody objects.
Go ahead.
All right, I will. I will try to
Right.
contact Siphidius.
You are unable to contact him.
Okay, well, let's go down.
Down we go.
Go ahead and open up the door to the third deck. And you immediately notice it's the wood on the door is not pulpy at all. It feels solid. And it actually feels dry.
On the door.
Sorry, you cut out the first part of that?
Just on the door, not any of the wood around the door or anything?
Not any of the wood around the door, just the door.
Weirdness abounds. Okay, let's open the door.
Go ahead and you open it up, and there's this heavy smell of salt that begins to fill your nostrils as the door opens. And rotten rice, if you know what that smells like.
Yeah.
Is it like a? I'm assuming it's like a salted meat smell and not like an ocean smell.
Right.
You could probably tell the difference. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this does
Probably where
not
they
smell
keep
like
their
the ocean at all.
like salted cured meats and stuff down there.
Mm.
I'll
Yeah.
send the torch down and lay down on my tummy and stick my head in.
Okay. As you stick your head in, you're immediately greeted with several crates that have tarps over them that have been roped to either side of the third deck with a central path that continues out towards the rest of the ship, now going in the opposite direction. There is a dim, low red glow that comes in the direction of the bow of the ship. However, you can't make any details of what that is exactly because before you get to the dim glow, there is a row of boxes that also have a tarp on them that are strapped to the center of the ship. So it makes sort of a T intersection as far as your torch can go. And you can see in that central blockage of boxes, several of them have been cracked open on the sides, and there is just molded rice that is poured out of a couple of the boxes, and also there's a heavy scattering of red salt that is scattered along the floor.
Red salt.
All right. I will pass along what I've seen. Shall we go down?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go
All
for
right.
it.
I'll hop down.
Okay. You make your way down. The stairs are stable and dry. And as all of you file in, you notice the third deck is much bigger than all the other decks. And Nash would have been able to easily fit down here. And as you continue along, assuming that you just start heading down the essential junction, not touching any of the boxes to either side of you, you come to that T intersection and you can choose to go either left or right, but either way, sort of at about the 8-foot mark is just this ominous red glow that hangs above these central boxes.
Do I see any runes?
Not currently.
Feeling a little jumpy. I'm going to lay my hand on Sasha's shoulder and cast protection from evil and good on her.
Okay.
Just in case. Just
All right,
in case
fantastic.
something bad happens. Gonna do
Really?
that.
Thanks. All right, I'm gonna start heading a little further in towards the red light to see whether or not I could see whether or not it's an open portal.
Okay. And you guys are definitely hearing that, like, humming thwump that's coming from the other side of these boxes. So as you peek your head around the corner, Sasha, what you were greeted with is a sight of a large slab of red crystal that sits about, I want to say, 8 foot to either side, and then 8 foot tall, and touches the ceiling of the third deck. And there's a low red glow that is coming from the center of this, and all throughout it, almost like stacked up wooden planks, are just people frozen in this block of some sort of crystalline structure. And they kind of make a parting central line that leads to a red crystal formation in the center that is giving off this glow.
No rooms?
Not that you can see immediately, but you're still far from the front of the ship.
Okay, how close can I get without being too close to touch anything?
There's a good 10-foot gap between the wall of boxes that fills up and makes that T intersection and this large, blocky crystalline structure. Sorry.
Okay, I'll go about 5 feet in and sketch it.
Okay. So you head in and start sketching, and
Approach
as you start
the evil
sketching,
red crystal.
You don't recognize any of the races of people inside this thing. No one's a human. No one's a half-orc.
There are people in the thing?
Yeah. Stacked up like planks of wood.
Do we not recognize them because we can't see them well enough, or because they're just unrecognizable races to what we're used to?
Unrecognizable races to what you are used to.
Okay.
Okay.
I
assume they're like humanoid. Like we recognize
Absolutely,
them as people.
they are
Okay.
humanoid. Except for one. One looks slime.
Which one? Gross.
The one that looks like a slime in the shape of a humanoid is in the third row on the left towards the bottom of the stack. And you can see that this stack of people goes back about, at least from what your light source is giving you and from what your dark vision is giving you, 10 stacks deep. And each stack is 12 people high.
People wearing.
Normal everyday clothes. A few of them even look to have staffs tightly clutched to their chest. And every once in a while you'll see a blade or a dagger, but all of them are sheathed.
Well, either what we have here is their freeze-dried trophies of humanoid people that they've captured, or it's some sort of stasis thing.
Be the people's life force powers, the portal.
I don't
Maybe these
know.
people gave themselves over to whatever doing this. I don't know.
Well, I doubt it was willingly. And I still don't see any runes, no nothing.
You can't see past this large red crystalline structure.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go any closer to it because I don't want to get caught up in it like a insect in a spider web. So, anybody got any ideas?
I mean, I feel like we did what we came here to do to the best of our ability. There's no reason for us to put ourselves in immediate danger, if we can go back and describe this to Father Andy, he might have a better idea. And if not, he might have somebody more knowledgeable who can come back here either with us or separately and see it for themselves. If we don't know what it is, somebody else might.
I'll see if the stone is working yet.
No.
All right, let's get out of this creepy place.
Down to that.
I head on back up.
Okay. You head on back up. You are not accosted by anything.
I go all the way back up to the top level.
Absolutely. You're eagerly greeted by a Nash.
And
All right. So do we make our return then?
yeah, I walk down the side of the ship.
Okay. I'm hoping you use a rope for that.
No, I have my cloak on.
Oh, yeah, the Cloak of Arachne. Absolutely. Yeah, you're fine.
I got Nash.
I'll use the rope.
Okay. You use the rope. All right. You guys make your way off the ship. You're back onto the sandy shores. There's the light sound of the waves hitting against the shore every once in a while, and there isn't a seagull to be heard anywhere. Now that you think about it.
What does the sky look like?
Dark.
Still pitch black?
Yep.
Yet
Is
it's
it
snowing.
nighttime?
Do any of you have the eerie capability to keep time no matter where you are?
No, I don't.
Unless you're
Yeah,
talking like
probably
specifically
not.
of feet.
It's a feat,
No.
yeah. Okay, then you're unsure. And you can't exactly pull out a sundial.
Let's just go back and report what we found. I mean, we'll mention the lack of seagull thing too. Maybe this thing gives off some sort of scary vibe and the seagulls don't want to go near it. I don't want to go near it again, so I don't blame them.
Yeah. Let's go back to the Citadel.
You guys head towards the city, and you make your way back through the gates and up to the Citadel as you stomp through the muddy streets of Windgrove. Let me see something here. Okay. So as you make your way up the stone path and into the Citadel courtyard gate, of course, you're quickly met by the ramshackle refugee camp that is sort of set up in the courtyard, covered by snow much more lately as there are a few bonfires that have been set up, people huddled around them and talking amongst each other. The guards move around at a hurried pace, moving around blankets and other items here and there and distributing food. And you can see that there is a long line of individuals in a row of two leading out of the double doors of the Citadel, each of them with a wooden bowl and spoon in hand. Yeah. And, of course, there's Father Andy's little nook church that's sort of nestled against the wall closer to the city itself.
Okay, so should we go to Father Andy first, or should we go to Cypher Diaz?
Well, I believe it was Andy who sent us to go look at ship, yes?
Okay, let's go to Father Andrew.
Okay. You make your way inside his small chapel, and you're quickly greeted by the visage of a crown entrapped within a cage, sitting on top of one of the pews near the front door, and You don't see him immediately in sight, but you do see that there's a doorway that is open to the right side of the altar, at the back end of the chapel.
I call out, Father Andrew, are you here?
You're like, bang! Ah! Yeah, I'm here. Hold on! Hold on! And a few moments pass, and eventually he comes out, kind of dusting himself off. There's a thick layer of sort of soot that kind of drifts off of him. And he's got a few smear marks of ash that are kind of on his neck and covering his fingers, and kind of looking at his hands and rubbing against them, and just goes, why do I... Pulls out a wand and taps himself and casts prestidigitation and cleans himself up. So, how'd it go?
Well, we find things on ship. No demons. Well, no whole demons. We find fleshy things lower down, but found scrolls that teleport us to Hell's is right place, yes?
I think it was the 9 hells, but I'm not sure.
We
It was obviously
were
hellish.
transported to hellish place. Had to do battle with very, very large demon.
Okay. You know what kind of demon?
Was big, fat, bulbous, jumped very much. Smelled
gluttony.
terrible.
Gluttony demon. All right, great.
We also found eggs of what we think
Ooh.
is Bahir.
Oh,
I take the eggs out and place them down on the floor.
they're not shaped to sit well on a floor. They're oval shaped, so do you just take one out and hold it in that case?
Yeah. I just take one out and hold it and show him what they look like,
Okay.
and ask him where he wants us to put them.
Okay. I was not expecting eggs. All right. Give me a minute for that. Hold on. And he kind of dashes back into that back room. And you can hear the shuffling of pots, pans, and other metallic objects. There's a clang of a sword, and you even hear the distinct sound of a plate, full metal plate helmet, clanging against the floor. And then there's the sound of dragging wood as you watch as he brings out a chest roughly half the size of him, and he's dragging it out by one of its handles out of the room. And it kind of gets caught in the door for a moment, and he has to spend a few moments getting it out. But eventually, he brings out a very large chest.
Okay, I put all the eggs in it.
All right.
Then I tell him about the maps and the scrolls.
Okay. Right. Gotcha.
It looks like we are on this particular continent, and at least this gives us a good idea of what some of the other things are around us.
All right, so Sifo-Dyas is probably going to want to see those. And is it... Okay, which Gladriel are we? Is it this one or this one? I see that this one has... They both have the Golden City. This one has a crater. Is the Golden City currently a crater?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's that one's the newer one. All right, good to know. Man, the borders have really changed on this thing. Huh. All right. So yeah, Sifo-Dyas is going to want to see that. All right. Any other goodies? Perhaps a teleportation rune or two?
Show him all of the runes and everything that I drew, and show them where they were. How some of them look like they were navigational. How some look like they were just parts of making maybe the ship sturdier or whatever. And then show him the spells that we found and explained to him that one of the scrolls that we opened was a teleportation scroll, which is why it sent us to the Hell's area, and we ended up having to do a really rough battle.
I'm guessing that one burned away, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, figures. God dang it. Why is magic such a pain in the butt sometimes? And he starts going over all of the different writings, and he says, well, I mean, the symbols that you found on the mast look to be a permanent enchantment of a wind spell, so that explains those. Although I don't know why they're different from the other two masts slightly, except for this singular symbol here. That doesn't exactly make sense. Let me see here. And he finally goes to your sketch of the crystalline object you found in the third deck. And he goes, what's this?
We're not really sure what it is. It looked like it is holding people. We don't know whether or not the people are in some sort of stasis or if they're dead. We're not sure. But bodies were just stacked up as you see in the drawing.
Mm-hmm.
We could only go so far because we didn't want to touch anything.
Any demonic symbols whatsoever near it?
We didn't
That we
see
saw.
anything like that.
Okay. There's another weird crystal thing within inside of this thing? What is... Okay.
Just as I saw it, I draw it.
Did anyone touch it?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah. Probably the smarter thing to do. Might be able to take one of the prisoners on death row and have them touch it.
Oh my.
Just to be safe. Huh, alright. I'll have to talk with my brother about that. Alright, good to know. Oh, it just ends here, so... Alright. Well, you brought me some useful information, at the very least. So... What exactly did I promise you guys for a reward? Sorry, I've been kind of harried lately with tasks. Starts dragging over a smaller chest, and you can hear the rattle of coins inside of it.
That's a good question.
I didn't write that down. If I don't remember a reward.
Well,
I think it was
either way.
vaguely in the coin.
Give me a moment here, and he kind of opens up the chest. And even though you heard the sound of coin, you don't actually see any coin inside the box. Instead, what you see are just 3 sacks that are filled with marbles. And he says, this is for you, and this is for you, and this is for you. And he hands you all a sack of marbles.
What do we do with this sack of marbles?
Oh, you've never seen one of these before. Well, are any of you hungry?
Usually.
Why don't you eat one?
Oh.
I think Dash is one for just randomly eating things. So Dash will pull one out and chomp it.
All right.
Sure.
I pop one in my mouth too.
All right, go ahead and roll me a D100 as well. I'm glad Desh got onto it.
I guess if
okay.
everybody's
I rolled
doing
D100
it.
to see if Dash was hungry, and I said if he was over 50, he's hungry.
I see. Okay, 56. All right. And 52. Okay. Sasha, you are filled with the sensation of having eaten a large pot pie. Senna, you are filled with the sensation of having eaten a large pasta. Alfredo based. And Desh, you are filled with the sensation of having a surf and turf.
And
Popeye.
Dash is someone who has only eaten forest food. He's just very much What is this? It tastes like salt and fish.
Yeah, they're food marbles. They act like good berries, but they also give you temporary hit points. As all of you should roll me a d12, and that will add on to your temporary hit points. And this does not stack; it lasts for a day.
Okay. Why do I feel this is just cushioning the blow of you tossing it in the deep end pretty soon here?
I mean, think of it however you will. He's giving you good food in the form of a marble.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, hey, it's much appreciated. You're really an industrious guy, aren't you?
I do it again. So there's that. Oh, you know what? I've got. Yeah, you said you were Saren Ray and Cinna. You are.
Mistra.
Okay, give me a minute. And he goes back into the back room and hears some clattering around of things, and he brings each of you a respectively silver and gold candelabra with your respective religious symbols on them, and he hands them over.
Okay, what is it again?
It's a candelabra without any candles in it, of course, and it has
Collection of deity-specific candelabras back there. Candelabras.
I mean, I have a bunch of
Candelabrum.
bits and bobs from various different religions back there. I bought them at an auction during the riots in Faerun.
That's
Well, thank
awesome.
you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It will certainly help when I do my prayers.
Tesh, what are you?
I do not follow a god. I follow forests. I follow the grove as my mother did.
Okay, give me a moment. And he goes back in the room, and you hear more shuffling around. And eventually, he comes out and he brings out a large rope necklace that's like filled with a bunch of anamorphized like insects and bear and tiger teeth that kind of just like line this necklace. And he hands it over to you.
Dash will take it and look it over.
The central piece to it is a large beetle that's covered in onyx.
And this is looking up to him for what it is.
Oh, it's a necklace that I just had, also from an auction.
Thank you for
It's
gift.
I have a lot of stuff from
Wild?
auctions in that room. I'm just gonna say it's from Faerun. All of it's from Faerun. But you know, I figured I'd just buy useful junk. Well, not useful necessarily. I'd buy stuff when we made the trip over here because it might be important to somebody.
Yeah.
True.
I've also got a bust of Saren Ray if you want that.
Oh, I would love one.
Okay. That's a little heavy.
I can put it in my bag of holding.
Okay, yeah. 1 sec. And he disappears. And a few moments later, he comes out with a bust of Saren Ray, which oddly does not look like Saren Ray, but Pike Trickfoot, because I don't know what Saren Ray normally looks like. So he places that within your bag of holding.
Okay. Do I feel anything coming off these objects?
They're plain objects. They're not imbued with any holy thing or anything like that.
Okay. Still, it's kind of cool.
Other than that, I've got I've got about 200 gold from the donations so far from this month. If you guys want that.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
You should use that for the people who've been displaced from their homes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know. You want a crystal ball or something? I'm just trying to think of what I could give you guys as a reward. It
Good,
doesn't do anything.
We're good. This is
Oh,
great.
okay.
I'm
This is
happy
great.
with the
I don't
the
normally deal with,
costume marble.
hiring adventurers for anything. I usually just preach and deal with the masses, and I'm not used to it. Sorry. I'm a horrible contractor, aren't I?
Oh, you're
Not at
fine.
all.
This is all good. These were very thoughtful objects.
It's
Thank you.
much appreciated.
Well, I'm glad you're all safe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your... It's 7:30 at night, so night.
Yeah. Have you heard anything about the fixes or the druids or getting all of this taken care of?
No, I've kind of been running back and forth between the shantytown that's being set up in the courtyard and here, and cleaning some stuff out because I was gonna open up all the... Well, I had to clean out that room to make space for the cage with the crown, and then I was gonna put that in there, and now I have to figure out how to put the behir eggs and that in there safely so I can clear out the pews to either side and then open this up for some sleeping quarters.
I see.
Want some help moving stuff around?
Oh, I
yes.
couldn't ask that. No.
-1
Why
strength,
not?
but
You know,
I can
we might
push
as well
it
help.
real
We're
good.
here. Let's help you out.
All right. Well, I appreciate the help. 1 second. And he goes back into the room and picks up a silver pail that's look like it has the remnants of water in it, and he puts that down. He puts down a mop, puts down a large broom, a couple of dusters, and some gloves and aprons, and a bunch of cleaning solutions from Morty's General Goods. It says,
Okay, I'll take a duster with my tail. I'll put on the little apron thing. Take another duster with my hand, and I'll start dusting.
all right. All right, let's get this center hallway cleaned out, shall we? And you guys spend, the next few hours, however long you want to spend here, essentially, helping him clean the place up and getting it decent for people to actually sleep on the floor here.
Sweep, mop, I'll do the whole thing.
Absolutely. He does all of that. And do any of you try and clean any of the other rooms in the chapel?
Yeah.
I mean, if we
Okay.
finished with this one, I would offer that I would. Senna has probably never cleaned anything before. I mean,
Interesting.
considering her family, like
Well,
when
no,
she set out adventuring,
you've
she
done
didn't have
maintenance
to,
on
like,
your armor and your
I mean,
weapons.
but I would guarantee you she has never held a mop before.
Yeah.
So this is
you
kind
quickly
of
find this
exciting.
tiring, actually. Interesting, but very tiring, as you end up working out a bunch of muscle groups you've never had to work out before.
Blisters on my hands.
Absolutely. And you've all got that, well, those of you who decide to do any of the washing of anything, you've got that soggy fingered feeling as you have the wrinkles on your fingers. And after you clean out the main hall, he's got his side room, which is just filled with odds and ends, almost to the ceiling, that he's kind of trying to clear away his best so he can fit the cage and now that chest back in there. And other than that, he's got a small library in another room. And then he has a confession booth that he needs cleaning, and there is a basement that is a fully stocked but clean, so he doesn't need you to clean it. If any of you head down there and be like, I'm gonna go clean the basement, it's already cleaned, and it's filled with casks of wine.
Cool.
And each of the casks have actually his smiling face branded into the barrels.
He's a winemaker.
He's an interesting guy.
And as you guys kind of wrap up the cleaning, he dusts himself off a bit and says, well, I very much appreciate the help. I can go ahead and start moving blankets and bedrolls and things like that in here. With the help of some of the general goods stores, I can get some other supplies in here also to make the place comfy. And I think this will make a good little shelter.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck to you guys in whatever adventures you will adventure upon.
Well, right now, I think the only thing that we are looking for is sleep. So I guess we're going to follow Senna over to her house.
Oh, well.
Because my house is probably filled by now with my employees.
Yeah. Well, feel free to drop by anytime. I'll be popping in here at the chapel every once in a while, but if you actually want to get a handle of me, go over to my little hut that's attached to the other side of the citadel.
All right.
Right.
Been fun.
Well, let me ask you, DM, a question. We don't leave him the maps and the scrolls, right? We just show them.
He's told you the maps and scrolls should be handed over to Sifo-Dyas.
Okay, so we still have those.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to head over to Sifo-Dyas before we go to sleep.
Okay, you make your way
These
inside.
blisters are not going to heal themselves. I mean, I guess I can heal them.
Oh, as you say that, he comes over and he says, I've got something for that. And he pulls out a small little coin purse, and he kind of gently opens it up, and you can see there's this white powder in there, and he lightly shakes it over your hands, and it kind of creates this warm bubbling sensation on your hands, and it numbs the pain of the blisters a bit, and also you notice your hands get a lot cleaner.
Dang. Thanks.
Goes and closes the pouch, puts it back where you had it. Yep.
We should have worn gloves for that.
Yep.
Never
everybody
mocked
has to learn.
before.
All right, so let's head over to Sifo-Dyas, and then we'll head back over to Senna's for some rest.
You make your way over into the Citadel proper, and you eventually find Sifo-Dyas stacked up to next to a stack of pile of papers and a few books that are cracked open. You can see that there's a massive one massive book that seems to be a ledger of supplies, and of course he's red-eyed. His glasses are kind of sitting on top of his head, and he's just got his hands in his head. Or his head in his hands, sorry, as he is getting what little rest he can.
Oh boy.
Hi. What's how you doing? What's up?
Your brother asked us
What did he
to
do this
bring
time?
these things to you.
Oh.
No, he's fine. We found this stuff on the demon ship, and he suggested you might be interested in taking a look.
We left him the eggs.
Eggs? They were eggs.
They were eggs.
12 of them.
What did he get you guys up to?
He asked us to go check out the ship for any runes.
And I start pulling out the maps and the scrolls.
Oh,
There was a demon
And
baby
kill
that
him
we
with
had to
it.
kill, and some
A
spiky
demon
dogs.
baby?
It was. It wasn't. He called it a gluttony demon.
oh, okay, that makes sense.
And yeah, it was pretty gross. It was pretty gross there, but
We had a huge
we're all
battle.
good. We found all this stuff. Tell them the whole story. We don't need to rehash all
Absolutely.
again on the podcast.
You tell him the entire story, and he goes over everything. Oh, of course he does the "What's this?" when you finally show him the people trapped inside of the object. And ironically, he immediately repeats after his brother, maybe I should get one of the prisoners on death row to touch that. Just to be
What
safe.
is it with you guys wanting to sacrifice death row inmates? Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
think ahead. Like, what if touching it unleashes some sort of demon horde or releases all these people trapped who have sworn their souls to evil demons and jump out and destroy the whole city? Maybe you should think twice about that.
You're right. Also, is this Asmodeus in this letter, or are we talking a different Asmodeus here?
We don't know. It just gave his name and his information, and from what it looks like it might be the real one, but we're not sure. I mean, obviously the teleportation took us somewhere we believe to the Nine Hells, but we could be mistaken.
Hellish.
It was definitely hellish.
Okay. All right. Great. Did he pay you? He's horrible at paying
Gave
people.
us some marbles and some candelabras, and we're all good now.
Religious items.
Yep. Is that valuable? All right. Never mind.
Well, the marbles are like food,
Well, yeah.
The good
Okay.
berry.
like good berries. Yeah.
Mine tasted like a carbonara. It was pretty good.
Mine
Oh.
was a Popeye.
He's staring at Dash.
Oh, mine was
surf and turf.
Yes, mine
Salty
was very
fish.
fishy.
Surf and turf. All right. Well, I don't
So I'm
really.
assuming each one's different.
Yeah, that's how the bags work. I
Not just a bag of pasta.
don't really have a mission for it or something, other than be free, marry, and protect your homes.
Great.
Wonderful. How are the druids doing?
I haven't gotten a recent update, but last I heard that they were repairing some of the buildings, or they were starting to. They brought in about 4 tons of stone, which took them most of the day to get inside the city.
They bring it here.
No, they just do their earth meldy thing with stone. The way it's been explained to me is they use their druidic powers to pull upon the stone that's naturally in the earth already and then chop it into bits and break it down, put it on
Know
a
a
cart,
lot about
ship it into
druids.
the...
That's
That
pretty cool.
sounds really cool.
Sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know a lot about druids.
Oh,
how they work.
no. Fun little magical guys. That's what I'll say. Little jelly. Tried to date a druid once. She found out I had ulterior motives. Didn't end well.
Right.
So is your brother single?
I mean, by technicality, sure.
Technicality?
He's not actually married to a person of flesh and blood.
One of those vow of celibacy things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, that's awful. Oh. Don't some priests get married?
Sure. But you have to be... I think his... I don't actually know what they're supposed to be called. His portion of the priest conclave, I guess, is the ones where you have to be married beforehand, before you join the church.
Oh, that sucks.
And the ones who don't have to be married before they go to the church are those who are missionaries, I think, is his ordo. Yeah.
And I'm guessing he's not a missionary.
He used to be for quite a while. I mean, he calls it adventuring, but that's what he did for a while. He went around and he's like a full certified paladin. But
Wow.
he
he's
did
so
he did a
cool.
bunch of missionary work in oh god, where's that Hell Knight place? It was in Faerun. Some place with a bunch of vampires and slaves and liches. I don't remember what the name of the place was. Sorry, it kind
Wow.
of bogged down.
That's really cool. Okay. I guess it's time for us to head on in.
Oh yeah. I'll if I find anything interesting, I'll message you. I'm surprised you guys didn't contact me with the stone
It
when you were in
wasn't
there.
working.
Didn't work on the ship.
Oh, it didn't?
Nope.
I'm gonna have to test that out.
With a prisoner? On death
No,
row?
no, I can't. I'm not gonna give it. No.
Sorry.
Yeah, they seem to be all usable. Those death row prisoners.
Anyways, I'm exhausted, and I'm sure you guys are too. So, good 7:45. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. All right, I
Go to my
can go
house.
and
Or Dash, you can go wherever you want. But
start
you and
heading-
Nash are welcome in the stables. And I mean, you're welcome in the house too. But
I believe
Yeah.
I have place, but I also
okay.
can camp outside walls if need be.
Well, you lent your home
Up to
to Garen and his daughter.
Yes, they are fine to stay there. I can stay in my place.
You have another place?
The wilds can be my place. It has been my place before I come.
Let's just go sleep in a proper bed and take a shower or a bath.
You make your way out of the Citadel and make your way in whichever direction you decide, whether that be everybody going to Senna's place or to your own places of residence.
We're
And-
heading to Senna's because I know my place is probably jam-packed with people.
Fantastic. That is where we are going to call our break, and we will be right back with more Black Waves. See you soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Black Waves. All right, kicking things back up to where they were. Okay, so you guys have headed off to send us home, and you go ahead and presumably rest for the evening.
Okay.
Unless there's something that anyone wants to get done in that time. Fantastic. The next day finally comes.
No time.
The first thing I want to do when I get up in the morning is to do a special prayer to Saren Ray with my new bust and my candelabra.
Sure. Go right ahead, and because I'll be nice, I'll give you advantage.
Cool. Okay. All right. So do I click religion?
Yeah, absolutely. Same general check. As I sip on
Okay.
my Canada Dry. Okay.
Oh,
It's a very nice bust. But nothing special happens
Not
during
at all.
prayer.
Even with the ley lines, that did not help at all.
You all hear outside.
What was that? I go put everything up and go check it out.
You quickly begin to realize as you head outside, and I'm assuming Senna and Desh follow. Almost like from the center of where you would assume the center of a sky would be, slowly the darkness begins to peel itself back and reveal that it is a sunny morning.
Oh, that's weird.
What was
Till
the
the darkness
sound?
finally completely dissipates.
Okay. So it's
Good
like a
morning,
storm.
ma'am. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How is everything going here?
Quite good, quite good. I'm going to be having to go into town and find some more supplies for the kitchen as we ran out last night.
Your mouths to feed.
Yes, yes. I've managed to talk to some of the local farmers, and I am headed that way first. Go ahead and pick up things for breakfast. And if you wouldn't mind waiting another, I'd say, roughly hour, I will have breakfast prepared for you, your friends, and also the rest of the family, as well as your guests.
Excellent. Thank you.
Maybe.
Be back. And he watches the butler heads his way out the gate, a large basket in hand.
Matthias?
Matthias.
Matthias? You wanna ride Timo?
Oh,
He's really gentle.
I always had an aversion to goats. All right, sure.
All right, here.
Now,
I'll hand him Timo's reins. Timo is very gentle.
I should ask you this now. How does one properly mount a goat? Or a horse, for that
I mean,
matter.
same way you would. Okay, this thing right here. You put your foot in that.
Okay, and you watch as he awkwardly tries to put his foot in it, and it's like, this seems too small.
I'll show him. I'll show him how to put the foot in the stirrup and swing
There's
the
a
leg
secret to riding a goat.
over. I will show him.
Well, giant goat,
Got it?
certainly.
Just like
Eventually,
that.
you manage
I'll
to get him into the saddle. And he's
Give
like,
him a hand. Yep.
and this back thing, this back padding, is that goes against my lower... Okay, yep. All right. And he takes the reins and he says, "Ya is the word, right? Am I supposed to...
I mean,
I apologize, my lady.
just give him a little
I've-
squeeze with your knees, and he'll go forward.
Oh,
He's
oh.
very well
With the
trained.
knees.
Yep.
Onward." And he gives a light tap with the knees, but because he's inexperienced in this, I'm gonna roll a d100.
Timo's a good boy. He's not going to throw Matthias off.
14. Timo goes into a full gallop out the gate and down the road.
Have fun!
And you just hear down the road,
I don't think it comes naturally to him.
Of it.
Can we see a lot of the city from here?
You can. So because of the way that this particular this set of estates is set up, it's on the largest hill overlooking the city, so you can just barely see over the crest of the wall of the city. And the inner city itself is in shambles, but most of the outer city is intact.
Does it look like they've made any progress?
Not discernible from here. They've only been at it for a day.
Likely need time.
We did not give any of the guns or the swords and things that we found on the ship to Sifo-Dyas, so we might want to, after breakfast, head on back over to the Citadel and hand those over.
We can do that.
I'm wondering what our next move should be.
Well, I would hope it would be getting breakfast within your bodies. You watch as your mother kind of steps out of the house for a moment, and I see that the sun has returned. Lovely. It's nice
Hello,
having
Mother.
things back to semi-normality. Hello. Hi, how you doing?
Great.
Hello.
Doing great. You've met Sasha and Dash, right?
Mm-hmm. I have had the pleasure. How are the two of you?
Good.
Hello, miss.
We've got to get you around more people, Dash.
Dash lived in the woods. What do you expect him to do?
She's saying this, not the DM.
Just, you get used to Dash. He's charming in his own way.
He is quite charming. Although I could see a suit would fit him nicely.
No. Don't
Yes,
start.
yes,
No, go
yes.
dress somebody else, Mom.
No, this is a project.
Oh,
No.
my.
No.
This project, why? What is she asking me to?
No. Don't bite, Mom. No.
Is it? But didn't?
Come with me, Dash. I think I have a few
she
things.
wants to put you in uncomfortable clothes, Dash.
Not uncomfortable at all.
You don't have to do it, Dash.
I'm comfortable in my clothes. I made them myself.
See, he's fine. He's good. He made those himself. He's not a little dolly to dress up.
Could you give us a rundown of what Dash is wearing?
Have something made for Timo.
Well, I mean, Dash is very much a bit of a hodgepodge of, leathers, armored leathers with, well, currently the ones I believe I'm wearing are the ones bought by the, the trade caravan outside the Tennu City. So it's not what he started out with, which was just hodgepodges of leathers and bone bits, but he definitely has probably well-worn studded leather by this point, after all the shit we've been through. But below that, he probably does have just a simple brown, just like dirt-colored tunic. He might have a slight little bit of a shawl made of what looks to be spider silk almost, but beyond that, he's very all-natural.
Well, except for the suit. There's the
And yeah, of course you have the
and the skin tight suit underneath all of that.
Yeah.
Says, she walks over to you and she says, I bet we could get you a much more robust shawl. And also, I think a few other bits and bobs to give you sort of a more profound expression of a man of nature, shall we?
Sorry, Dash.
You sound like me. Just going through this is going to be just ruining my character. I mean, Dash won't know any better. Just If you have things to give, was told it's rude to say no.
Yes, come with me. Come with me. We need to
Mom,
take your measurements. But
Keep
yes,
it rustic. Keep it rustic.
that is
Rustic.
quite the plan. Quite the plan. A dashing, rustic, kobold individual. I've never worked with a kobold.
Oh my.
All right, he's gonna have a good time.
And she takes you into a fitting room, to where she then proceeds to get your measurements within your comfort zone, and she tests out by holding up a bunch of materials and letting you feel the materials and what you like and what you don't like material wise, and all very foresty colors.
Well, while that is going on, I'm going to take myself a nice hot bath, clean my stuff, and get redressed.
Fantastic. Eventually, as you all are getting done, and Cinna's mother tells you that she will have something prepared within the next week or so that would fit you quite well. You all hear a, oh, okay, it stopped. It stopped. We're good. We're good. Everybody's good. Nothing's broken, I don't think. Outside.
Freaking out.
And eventually, the sound of cooking food comes from the downstairs kitchen. Couple minutes pass, and he brings out to each of you a fine breakfast. Scrambled eggs, some fresh sausage, and also a couple of local fruits.
Cool. I'll sit down and have my meal.
What kind of fruit?
You wouldn't actually know the names of these because you've been gone from Wind Grove for a while. So you find on the plate what looks like, what has the coloration of a watermelon, the inside of a watermelon, that red color. It's very, very juicy. And when you bite into it, it has the taste and texture of an orange. And it's about
food chimera is this?
Yeah, it's about the size of a clenched fist. Other than that, he also gives you another piece of fruit which looks like, oh god, what is that useless melon called?
Cantaloupe? Honeydew?
Honeydew, that's the one. He gives you some shaved honeydew-looking fruit, and it actually tastes like honey nectar with the comb.
Yummy.
Thias, I was getting a little worried about scurvy, but I think these fruits will provide enough vitamin C. It's been a while since I've had any fresh produce, so...
Well, I'm glad I could certainly ensure that scurvy is not one of your ailments.
How'd you enjoy your ride on Timo?
Terrifying.
He's great, right?
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Not a goat. Let's give him. Next time we'll give him a war lizard.
It was nice feeling the breeze within my hair, but aside from that, I think I should take up to perhaps practicing with a pony for some time in the future.
Maybe.
Also,
All right.
quite warm, as there's a lot of fur, which I was not
Yeah.
expecting.
Shaggy. He's a shaggy one.
Yes.
He smells nice, though, right? For a goat?
Yeah. Oddly enough. You guys end up finishing your breakfasts, and he brings you coffee or tea, whichever you would like. And if you choose the coffee, it's a sweeter coffee. It doesn't have any sugar cubes in it. It's kind of the sweetness of, roughly the sweetness of a strawberry. And it's a little thicker than you're used to when it comes to coffees.
But I'm sure quite enjoyable.
Everything's just weirdly topsy-turvy.
All right, guys. So are we heading straight over to Cypher to hand in these weapons, or are we going somewhere else?
I mean, be for best if we not carry much things with us.
Okay, so after we turn in the weapons, I need to stop by my shop to check in to see what's going on. Other than that, I don't have any actual plans for today.
Okay. You make your way back to the Citadel to turn in the weapons. And he doesn't give you much fuss about it. He just takes the weapons. He doesn't know what to do with them, but he takes them. He informs you they're all magical.
The guns. I asked him about the guns.
I don't actually know what enchantment is on these. It's going to take me a little while to investigate. I'm probably going to have to attune to these before I can properly tell you.
Be careful. We tried to mess with scrolls, and that takes us to hell, so...
Well, my worry is that they might be possessed.
Oh, my.
You
well, I'm glad we handed those over.
I don't know if they are. I'm just saying that is a worry.
Oh, well, that is one worry we do not need to have.
I'm gonna test these out with caution. So, perhaps when I'm in a safer environment, I will get back to you on exactly what these pistols do. He sees fiddling with the flint pan on one of them.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to come with me, you're welcome to come. I need to go check in the silk shop to see what's going on and find out how many employees ended up staying over at my house.
Okay.
So I start heading out.
Okay, you head out, and as a quick roundabout of what's going on, Silk Shop's secure at this point. They are back to very slow production, and you have about half of your employees that actually lived.
Okay.
And,
half of your employees lived.
Yeah. They're working. Your foreman is working on getting new hires.
All right. Did the accountant live?
No, Shelby's dead. So is his brother.
Oh my! Oh, that's awful. Okay, so that's terrible.
But we do have his records.
Yeah, but we also will need a new accountant. How are the worms?
Oh, they're fine, actually.
Okay, great. How many people ended over at my home?
Everybody.
Okay. All right. Just make sure you keep it clean and you don't take anything.
No problem.
It'll be fine. So, are we? Do we still have lots of people around
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
shop? Like,
Yeah.
okay, and the walkways haven't been taken care of yet.
They're working on them. It's going to take a while.
Okay. All right, guys. Where do you want to go from here? What do you want to do from here?
Well, we are still waiting for options to get on ship to cross ocean.
It's going to take them a while to do that. I mean, Cephadius is really bogged down right now. And we're not going to have a running ship. I don't think that's going to be available to us for a while. So we've got to figure out what we're going to do next, and maybe how to help the town from here until we can get going.
Yeah, if we must wait, it is goal still, but if you think it best, I will stay to help for now.
I don't see any other options. I don't see us running off to go where, to do what. I mean, we know that it's the do you still feel the heart from here?
I imagine I do.
Yep. Same direction.
All right, so as far as we know, the heart is out to sea. And the only way to get it to it is on boat.
And there's not a boat in sight for miles of ocean.
And we're not going to have access to one anytime soon. I don't see us just running off for some possibility of trying to get a boat from the dwarves at this point, with the town in a shambles. Unless that's just what you want to do. You just want to head towards the dwarves and hope we make it there safely, and then how do we barter for something as large and as expensive as a boat?
I don't know, but just waiting here feels like I'm wasting time. Valuable time.
Well, if you have any suggestions, I mean, we will go with those. Senna?
Not no.
I mean, I don't like the idea of just sitting here waiting either. I don't know that it would be faster to leave, though, you know? So I don't like doing nothing.
If we stay here and we do get boat, but then turns out it could still be faster with dwarves, then might even just be good to take that chance.
So you want to head out and head towards the dwarves with no idea of how much a boat costs or whether or not we'll have the funds for that?
It is risk, but also know that if not coin, then perhaps work. We will do what must to get cross sea so I can find and retrieve heart.
I mean, we don't necessarily have to buy a boat. We can buy passage. Maybe the dwarves are already going there.
Yeah, but passage to exactly where? I mean, we're following a magical thump of a heart. How are we going to get passage to a thump of a heart?
Can hire a boat to take us where we to help us follow it.
I guess we could try that. Maybe by cashing in some of this king's gold, we'll have enough money. Maybe. What do you think?
I said it's worth every effort to try.
Okay, so then we need to let Cyphodius know that we're heading out towards the dwarves to try to get passage.
You make your way back up the stone walk path up to the Citadel, make your way through the double doors of the gatehouse, past all the tents, past the line of people going to get food for the morning, and eventually find Siphidius asleep in his chair on top of a book.
Hello?
What? Who? What? Yeah. What? Oh, Dash, hey.
Come to let you know that we plan to head out soon.
Okay, what time? Oh, I'm sorry, is the sun up?
Yes.
Oh. Well, when did that happen?
Earlier this morning,
Great. Okay, all right. Well.
we heard a pop and something that sounded like it was dropping, and the next thing you know, the sky cleared up.
Okay, well. Sleep solves more issues than one. All right, good to know. Sorry, you're heading out?
Yes, we don't know how long it take for solution to ocean problem to be here. Dwarves are apparently already on ocean, so perhaps we can find faster solution there.
Okay. All right, be careful. I don't know what new stuff is going to happen because the ley lines are back.
Yeah.
Not easy journey, but I cannot just sit and wait.
Understandable. Yeah, stay safe.
Very hands-off, boss.
So we go get our horses. Well, I go get my horse. And I guess you're going to go get Timo. And we have plenty of food and rations and all of our camping gear and everything else. So,
Over the next 4.5 hours, you guys go ahead and get everything together. Get your animals packed up and ready to go. And assumedly make your way out of the eastern gate to start heading out into the brave wilderness of the world outside, with all sorts of new magical adventures to take place.
Oh, God. Horror's line wait.
And I'm going to ask for a survival check for the end of the episode.
Oh, God. Alright, well, I guess this is my repertoire.
Nice.
With a 26 for the advantage, you all head off, breaking the line of sight with the farms around and the citadel and town walls behind you in the distance. You break through the line of trees on the road to the dwarves. And the camera pans up from your group above the tree line. Eventually, you can see the mountains filled with fog, the fog that once sat over the ocean. And as it rests there, it goes just to the point where you can see the tip of each mountain. And dimly, far off in the background, you can see the flashes of green light through the fog. And that's where we end the episode.
oh boy.
All right, thank you all so much for coming out. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and we will be back with more. The Black Waves.